Hi guys, I'm Ed.
I'm Harry.
Now welcome to another Hog Off. It's been a while since we've done one, but it's approaching the end of 2016, and we feel that it's time for a review. Now obviously 2016 was filled with a shitload of gaming stuff, but one of the biggest things that happened to the games industry over the last year was the presence of virtual reality.
That's right, now there have been quite a few systems out. There's been the HTC Vive, the Oculus Rift, the PlayStation VR, and obviously the Gear VR.
And others, smaller, kind of less known ones. But we basically want to discuss, is virtual reality really the future of gaming? I'm going to throw that to you immediately from now. How do you feel after this year being introduced to virtual reality, seeing the range of headsets we've seen from Oculus to HTC to PlayStation, which we have all of?
Yeah.
How have you found virtual reality as an experience over 2016?
Alright, here's my problem with virtual reality, is that when it's done right, it can be fantastic. I mean, we've seen the Vive and seen what that can do, and when you get the right game on that, it is a phenomenal experience. But the problem there is the cost. The cost price is prohibitively high. I mean, you need to shell out £750 on the headset, and having a PC that can run it will cost you another £1,500. And even at that stage, you have to pay for the games as well, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lower level VR systems like the PSVR are a bit of a letdown because they're just not as impressive. And when they're not as impressive, it's just not going to catch on.
No, you're right, because the problem with the PlayStation VR, for those who maybe haven't tried it or haven't seen any reviews on it, it runs off a PlayStation, which is inherently a problem when you compare it to things like the Oculus or the HTC Vive, which, as Harry said, run off reasonably expensive computers with fairly decent graphic capabilities. The PlayStation 4 is hard blocked at a certain level. It can't go over certain frame rates, can't have a certain level of fidelity, and it's also using aging hardware. So it uses the PlayStation camera and the PlayStation Move controllers?
PlayStation Move controllers were back in, 2010 they came out in?
Yeah, so
ridiculous.
I mean, one of the biggest highlights of that thing's timeline was a crap Harry Potter book game that you used. So that really highlights why there's a little bit of a problem. Admittedly, it's still a great virtual reality experience. If you do want to try virtual reality, or you just want to show a friend, it's great. And if we've been spoiled, we've always said this in all of our reviews because we've been quite damning on the PlayStation VR, but the Vive, comparing the Vive and the PlayStation VR, even Oculus now, because Oculus has got Oculus Touch, they're so much better, they're immersive. Admittedly, Oculus Touch we haven't tried, so I'm not going to pass comment on that. I'm excited to see what they're like. But things like the HTC Vive, we have the two Lightbox things here, and we walk around. That in itself completely destroys any of the other headsets.
Yeah, the problem here is that, there's not enough support for these VR systems early on, then they're not going to get developed further. Now, we've seen that Oculus are developing their own standalone headset that you can walk around without a wire. Now, to me,
it's HTC.
That is HTC
Vive, yeah.
My mistake. But that, to me, is... In fact, no, I think they're both doing it. Facebook bought Oculus and they're doing their own version of it.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I mean, that, to me, once that's perfected, then that is going to be phenomenal. And that will be the end point. But if we can't get to that point because there's not enough support for it, then we're stuffed.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually one thing, even if we're feeling that virtual reality is a gimmick and isn't necessarily working, I think the one thing that it has done is it's really helped generate some market for it, because there's a lot of indie developers who've been making these games. We played stuff like Kitty Cannon VR, very simple premise, kind of a silly, stupid game, but quite a good fun mini game, and it's made by a small indie team who got in touch with us after we played it. They really liked our review, even if I was a bit of a dick in it. But it's stuff like that. You're creating a market and you're creating competition, and that's healthy for the industry because it keeps gaming alive.
Yeah, I mean, to me, some of the smaller indie titles have been a lot more fun than the AAA titles. I mean, Robinson the Journey, what the hell was that? You never saw my playthrough because when I did, it was just such a mess. We just didn't want to release it. But a game like watching grass grow in VR, I loved that to bits, and it was 5 minutes long, and it kept me more engrossed than anything else this year.
Now, here's a problem with what we've just said. Those games are fun. They're very fun. But they're mini games. The problem with virtual reality games is that typically they are mini games, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because like I said, if you just want a stupid 10-minute session, doing something that you can just get over and done with a couple of times quickly is fine.
Yeah.
But this is why virtual reality is not going to have much longevity if it continues doing this. Because the thing is, remember what it is about the games industry that most people love. They like the bigger titles with a big story. Final Fantasy 15, look at. Huge game, loads of story, lots to do. There's not really any virtual reality games that do that. Admittedly, you do have some. What's it called? Qual 4? I forget. But there are some that have actually tried making intricate storylines, making more interactivity, a longer game. It's harder to do, and until they maybe address some of the tech issues and maybe some of the other tech issues that are facing virtual reality, I don't know how much further these games are realistically going to go.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to spend that long in virtual reality. I mean, for me, an hour is more than enough. And to play a story campaign on a long game, it's just too much. And you wouldn't want to do that. So with that in mind, you're kind of left with the mini games like Space Pirate Train and all that kind of stuff, which are great fun. But again, you wouldn't want to shell out like £2,000 just to play fun mini games to your friends.
No.
So,
and that is one of the real inherent problems with it. So for 2016, I think it's been a wonderful introduction to virtual reality. I don't think it's been perfect. There's still teething issues with the tech, but it's still young. Looking to the future, for instance, we know that Microsoft are planning on releasing their own virtual reality headset. Obviously, not the HoloLens. The HoloLens is their AR product, their augmented reality one, where everything you see then has stuff put on it. But in the virtual reality, they're having basically like it's more like the Gear. I know Google are releasing something like the Gear, but basically Windows are actually releasing a headset in April 2017, and what this has is it has the infrared things built in on the inside. So basically you have wireless virtual reality coming from Windows, which, knowing Windows, hopefully that'll be pretty good. And there's other things like other peripherals. We've got things that we've covered them in our top 5 lists before, like top 5 VR peripherals, things for wind feedback, things for general haptic feedback so it feels like you're in it, temperature, things like that. So when more of that comes out, and when we have better games and better computers with better hardware, I think virtual reality is going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, a great start, but we're not quite at Ready Player One levels yet. When we get there, though, that's the dream.
That is. That day when we can physically do this from each other's bedrooms in virtual reality, that's going to be cool. I want to be able to socialize with a friend and be able to, oh, Harry's really there, but actually we're just sitting in our own rooms. When they can do that, that'll be cool.
Well, there we go.
That's all we have to say on virtual reality for 2016. But guys, do let us know what you think in the comments below. Yes. Do you think virtual reality has been good? What's been your favorite headset that you've tried over the last year? And what are you looking forward to virtual reality bringing us in the future?
Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye, Z's.